All right, so in this video, we're going to go over the line items for roofing so you guys can see um, what each line item means. So let's go right to it. Looks like it's already sorted out. So we'll go to search, type in roof. And let's order these by alphabetical order. Numbers start first and it goes down. Let's go here. Alright, so as mentioned in the previous videos, these are the codes for 3-tab roof without felt. This is to include felt. This is per shingle. These are the additional roof charges for 2-story roofs. I'll do a video on the additional charges for 2-story roofs or greater, and the steep charges that should be added to a roofing estimate, regardless if you're adjuster or public adjuster, because it requires additional work for a roofer to do a 2-story home with a steep slope. So this is how that's taken care of. So I will create a video about the 2-story roof and the steep charges. This is aluminum metal. You'll probably find that on most sheds. We're going to just deal with the most commonly used because there's a lot and we don't need to be spending time on things that's not necessary. And let's do this RFG. Let's just focus on that code, RFG. Okay. Aluminum fiber coating. This is pretty much like paint that goes over the roof. This is usually for commercial grade, and the aluminum coating, it reflects UV rays, 80% of UV rays, so that the coating and the roof doesn't get damaged as easily. But this is more of a commercial estimating item. With fiber, without fiber. Fiber is to strengthen the roof. This is like a real flat roof that you use with fiber. Without fiber, it is for a roof that needs more flexibility, like it has more ups and downs, and the roofing needs to be more flexible, so that's when you use without fiber. Asphalt starter shingle, stick and peel. This depends on the insurance company which one they're going to go with, but most of the times, 95% of the time, is universal course. Cap flashing, this is more of a commercial as well. This is when you have like mod fit or a rolling fabric and it goes all the way up, and then you put the cap on to kind of hold it down. The chimney flashing, so if there's a chimney, there should be flashing around it. You just pick the size. It could be small, average, large, and then it will give you a pricing for that. Continuous ridge vent, and there's continuous ridge vent with a single size. So when you're on the roof, you'll see the difference. You'll see either if it's aluminum or it's shingled, and you use the appropriate one. Copper panel. I've only seen this once in the field. This kind of flashing. Very, very expensive. Well, this is not really flashing. It's just a sheathing, but this is very, very expensive stuff. Let's go here. The cupola. These are cupolas. It's like a dome thing on top of a roof. That's the line item for it. Could be copper, vinyl, or wood. Satellite detach and reset. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Then we have the drip edge. Now there's copper drip edges. We don't really work with metal clad, but if there is metal, do that. Drip edge / gutter apron. These are for like if the drip edge is larger than the standard size drip edge, or the roofer usually would tell you that they have to use a bigger size drip edge, then you just use the gutter. This line for the gutter apron. Elastic roof coating is pretty much like the aluminum coating. They pour it on there, and it helps protect the commercial roofs. Exhaust caps, you have to measure the top of the exhaust cap to figure out which one are you going to use. Fiberboard, don't really use that a lot. The L flashing. So there's really two types of flashing. Let's go to Google real quick. L flashing, step flashing. Images. So this is a step flashing. It actually looks like a step. L flashing is pretty much just flat, just like that. So that's how you tell the difference. One is actually a step, one is just an L. These are the flash pipes. These are standard. This is what you'll usually see is those white plastics, but there's lead. There's this is split booth. This is what you're going to be using instead of mass meter. There's more flashing. Corn rice. So this has to be estimated outside of if you're just using a standard sketch, you're not using Eagle View, you might have to input this manually. But these are the corn rice. The return is what you see in the corners, right? And then the strip is these long strips right here, which you'll see on the roof. Now you notice the difference between corn rice. Return is that they're measured by each. So if you see, let's go to Google, see how that looks. Give you a better picture. Corn rice. So this is what they're gonna look like. Just little shingles in the corner. So you just count them out, and then you just put the number of them in Xactimate. Alright. This is the strip. With the strip, you have to measure the linear feet of it and put it there. These are the shingles that needs to be over the hip and ridges. This is for a metal roof at the top up there. That's the ridge for the metal top. ISO boards, installation boards. Let's see if we find a better image of them on Google. iOS boards, copy. Alright, so this is what they look like. I had to do a $120,000 estimate for a plaza or a town center. Let's say it's a plaza, commercial area buildings. They had like an Edward Jones office, and the material, the rolling roof ripped off, and the roofer provided us with the code from the town hall saying that they needed to put the plywood, and then on top of the plywood they need to put this to insulate the plywood, and then they put the rolling the mod fit or the rolling roof on top of that. So that came out to be $120,000. But that's what it will look like. It's the insulation, kind of protect the wood. Let's go back here. Now, laminated shingles is right here. We got it each. Bam. This is per shingle with laminated with shingle. Then we have without shingle, the high grade, the membrane for the rolling roof. This is a commercial. This is what you will see on top of commercial buildings. Metal roof, mod membrane. The difference between membrane roof, this is just the installation per hour. This is for just paying for the labor of it all. But let's go. We'll get to it. I'll come back to that in a second. Power attic. This is for the cover only. These are rain caps. You measure from one side to another to get the length that you're going to use. Rolling roof versus mod fit roof. Mod fit are a lot stronger materials. They're as you can see, that's using fire to kind of adhesive to keep the roof there. It lasts longer than a rolling roof. It's better quality material, but it costs more than a rolling roof. As you can see, we're talking about close to $500 here versus $200. If you go on a commercial roof, and you see this kind of material is usually a lot looser. This is what is used for more on residence roof. You will see a lot of this on residential roof. It lasts about 5 to 10 years. It's used for flat surfaces. This is the power attic. This is replacing the full power attic. The other power attic is for just the cap, just the cover only. This is for the full power attic. Most of the time, let's say it's hail damage, you're only going to replace the cap, the cover, not the actual power attic itself. Roof vents, detach and reset. If you want to just do the detach and reset all the vents. The turbine, we've got detach and set, different types of turbines. Then the turtle, we have metal, we have plastic turtle vents. Then the roofing per hour to compensate the roofers. We don't really use this a lot as an adjuster. Different types of felt, 15 pounds, 30 pounds. The sheeting boards, OSB, and plywood. What you need to know is that most insurance companies are going to use the OSB. Plywood is about 10% stronger material than the OSB. Let's take a look at the OSB. OSB board. So you can see, this is how you know it's an OSB board, because it looks like they just took a bunch of chips and passed old wood and just stuck them together. And that's what creates the OSB. Plywood is just standard piece of wood. See, looks like just a solid piece of wood. So that's how you'll know when you see it. This is step flashing, went over that a little bit a while ago. And then these are the tear-offs. These are for the tile roof. We'll do a video going over put on a tile roof. And valley metals. You have to see this, and there has to be a photo of this in your system, or you have to take a photo if you're a field adjuster or a roofer and submit that for the insurance company to pay for it. All right, so all in all, those are the roofing line items. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you in the next video.